Mikey here, Whiskey Delta Zero Oscar Mike, and I'm here to tell you about a bad day. Not to cry about it, not to um, belabor it, and not to make it a big deal, but I tell you about my good days. I tell you about my successes, and I think it's only fair. I don't think necessarily a lot of people do this. I think it's only fair to actually admit when I've had a bad day and to share the insights that I've gained from having a bad day. Like, if it was just a bad day and I was just mad, no, I wouldn't make a video about it. That'd be silly. But I have some thoughts about it, and they feed into the theme of this channel, which has been that flexibility is the key. There is a poster, a Murphy's Law poster, a whole bunch of Murphy-isms that I've been familiar with since I was a kid. My dad had one in his office, and I have one kicking around here too, though it's not on the wall right now. And one of the Murphyisms that has always stuck with me, despite never having owned a rifle, is all skill is in vain when an angel pees on the barrel of your rifle. That was my day today. My brief attempt to play radio today out at Fort Snelling. It should have gone great. It went poorly. And it went poorly in part because I had just emptied a bunch of stuff out of my car for a trip. And then I thought today, hey, I'll just put a couple of things back in the car and that'll be enough. That'll get me on the air. It'll be fine. And it should have been, but it wasn't. And it wasn't for a couple of reasons, one of which was me being dumb. I tried using the SS-25 whip with no transformer whatsoever and was going to count on the little tuner that I have, outboard tuner that I have, rather than using the G90, for example. The G90, I'm actually convinced, would have saved the day, but I didn't have it with me. This little tuner is pretty good, but it would not tune the bands I actually wanted to work on. So I thought, okay, I'll go ahead and put the transformer in place. So I go to do that, and I realize this is going to really, like, I'm going to be embarrassed just saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I realized that the mag mount, which by the way, the part I left out is I got the mag mount stuck on the hood of my car, the bonnet, if you're British, which on the new car is ferrous enough to take it. Long story short, it scratched the paint. Brand new car, and I've scratched the paint. Burp. So that was downer number one, was realizing I'd done that. But then downer number two was in trying to sort of dismantle things and maybe set up a different way, maybe go ahead and put a spike in the ground. I realized that I tightened the transformer to the mag mount too tightly, and now I couldn't get it loose for love or money. It's not cross-threaded. It's sitting pretty flush, but it won't come loose. Now, yes, I'm sure I'll get a wrench or a vise or something, and I'll get it loose. I'm not worried about eventually fixing it, but I didn't have the tools with me. I gave up. I just packed everything up and came home. Partially because it was already late in the day. It was already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that doesn't sound very late, except it's Minnesota and it's standard time, which means it's getting dark by 4:30 already. And I just wasn't going to have that much time. I also could have gone home, gotten other stuff, come back, but same problem. It just, too much time. In the end, I decided to call it quits. But the truth is, I had stuff with me I could have used to get on the air anyway. I could have taken either the 25 or a 17 whip, put it on tripod. I had the tripod fixins with me. No transformer, and just manually tuned the whip for what I needed, and it would have been fine. But that's not how I'd set out to operate. I'd set out with this very locked-in mindset. I'm going to hook up my FT710 and the small tuner and go with the whip and just go. And it didn't work. And rather than adapting to it not working, I gave up on the day. Now, All is not woe in spiders. I came home and played Dragon Age all day with my cat on my lap, and the cat thinks it's great. The cat was thrilled to pieces, thought it was the best decision I've ever made. And it gave me a chance to basically give the same lecture to myself that I've been giving to you guys, which is flexibility is the key to success. And if you're not willing to be flexible, if you don't go into it with a plan B or the willingness to do things differently, your day might be ruined, not really by the circumstances, but by your own bad planning and your own rigid mindset. I allowed myself to become rigid and I paid the price. I didn't get to operate radio today. And no one's to blame for that but me. Um, so, what's the moral of this story? The moral of this story is even if you're thinking spur of the moment, have options, have flexibility, have other if something goes wrong, have some other way to get on the air so that you can operate, so you can do what you wanted to do, or do something different. In my case, my something different was just not play radio, of course. But, in the end, don't mope, don't swear, don't jump up and down. Um, just make the best of your day because it's your day. And who knows how many you're going to have? Who knows how many any of us are going to have? Do your best to have a good day on the radio, off the radio, whatever. Have a plan, have an alternate plan, have a backup alternate plan. I've learned my lesson, I hope. I hope that my bad day, uh, I hope that my failed effort can serve as a reminder to you. Be flexible. Get out there, get your wire in the air. Have fun. Uncle Mikey, Whiskey Delta Zero Oscar Mike 73.